So, it's Saturday, 3/21/2020. Future. I'm going to start off with that. What is the future? It's just tomorrow. Okay? That's the future. Not years on down the road. Today is the present, tomorrow is the future, and so on. And what can be done today might lead in tomorrow, but you can only do what you can do in the present. And what you do in the present right now dictates basically where we're going to go for the most part in the future. And what hasn't happened, and even what may be foretold in the future, all depends on if we will make that happen. Things that are said because people say this, and let's just put it this way. It is said that you make your own destiny, right? Right. So if you're making your own destiny, then the future is undetermined. And if the future is undetermined, then you have a choice. And if you have free choice, that means that the future is not been determined yet. Even though that plans, okay, can fall down during mid-flight. You could even die in the midst of your venture, your journey throughout this life. Now, what I'm getting at is this. You can't promise a future. You can't promise what's going to happen tomorrow. Even though it may look rock solid today. No one can promise a future tomorrow. And beware of people that promise things in the future, is most likely they won't be there at that time when that time does arrive to deliver those promises. Okay? What we have and why I started off with that, people in government making promises. Promises themselves cannot deliver, that they sold to you on the backs of other people that will have to deliver those promises that they just made, that those people never consented to in the future, which is a crime, ladies and gentlemen, because you're sentenced to do something before you even know it. It's just like debt. Debt is the same crime. Crime, ladies and gentlemen, it's a crime. I'm going somewhere with this, okay? We're gonna be a little bit different than I normally have. So it's a crime because you know why it's a crime? Because you're gonna leave debt onto the backs of your children. That debt was not created from them, and that's forcing them to have to pay for a debt that they did not make. How about that? How would you feel if somebody says, and this is where our world works, and we accept this criminal behavior and call it normal? Yes. And we've been swallowing this and accepting this for far, far too long in humanity. This goes back thousands of years. And again, like I said, I'm going somewhere with this. So that's a crime. Did you hear what I said about that? Crime. To the perpetrators that are living now, enjoying the spoils of that crime. You may not feel it, but your children will, believe me. They will enjoy their lives living high on the hog, jet setting all around the world, and enjoying the palaces they own. Yes, And always seems that when the plagues and everything, look into history, ladies and gentlemen, when the plagues and all these things come and go, they're still the criminals at bay doing what they do best, is robbing the masses of people. And these aren't like criminals that we have been raised and we even live around that are roaming the streets. Those aren't criminals. Those are just petty little thieves and bullshit, okay? Yeah, once in a while we get a murderer running it loose and we think that that's really crazy. Really insane. He fucking murdered like 20 people or whatever. But the real murderers that cause humanity to fight against each other and kill each other on a mass scale. This is the deal here, ladies and gentlemen. We have been murdering each other. They have been keeping us locked down in our different countries, with our different languages, with our different cultures. And that's all fine. Matter of fact, I love that. That is our diversity. The indifferences is of us. And then we should embrace what is good in our lives and what isn't, and then spit out the bad, but still embrace our cultures, because that defines who we are from the beginning to now. And we should never forget where we came from. Ever, ever, ever. And be proud of it. Each and every one of us. And always keeping our hand out, showing that we don't have a weapon. We are not a threat to each other, because we're not. The threat is the people that keeps us divided. The threat is the people that make us believe that we are enemies and we have to murder each other, while they're the beneficiaries of the conflicts. Did you hear what I said? Let me rephrase that, re-say that again. They are the beneficiaries, always, at the end of the conflicts. Who's going to, right now, out of what's going on, going to benefit from all of this? Think about it. Don't think about all the masses of people. Out of what's really going on right now, who's going to benefit from it? The same very people that's been stabbing us in the back, the same very people that's been robbing us all along. It hasn't changed. And no one is coming to save us, ladies and gentlemen. Don't you get that? That's your foolish weakness. You think that you're going to get your team player in there, and that team player is going to win the game for you. It's not a game. This is real reality. Stop thinking it's a game. Stop thinking that my political party has to win, okay? Listen to these people when they are campaigning. We're going to win. We're going to win. I don't care about winning. I don't want us people to be always the loser. Always. And it's quite obvious what we've been doing with who we've been doing it with hasn't been working for a very long time. And that should speak volumes of what's going on. And if you think you have a savior right now, you're absolutely naive and very extremely childish and foolish. And that's a fact. I hope I'm really wrong about all this, but this is not going to end well. They're ratcheting this up to a point that it's going to get out of control. Every day they've came out with a heavier hand, which is a violation. Yes. You don't believe it because you believe these people are your gods. Yes, we love you. You're the best. Listen to yourselves. I'm watching like history repeat itself right now. I got a very uneasy feeling about all of this. Virus or not. You know, my mother was born in the 30s. Bless her heart, she's gone. I was born in North Hollywood, in the Viper's fucking den. We moved to a little desert town, thank goodness. Thanks to my grandparents, moved out of Los Angeles too. My mother worked amongst inside that Viper den. And she used to say, they're nothing but devils. And I'm so glad that we moved out of that rat hole, rat nest, fucking piece of shit place called Los Angeles. It is literally a fucking cesspool. Same with San Francisco. And stop and think about it. Who fucking did that to those places? Who led us there? Yes, dystopian society right now. We're like the fucking battered woman right now that can't get away from the beast that's beaten her to death. Or too afraid to stand up for herself or run or hide or go get help to help take down that beast. We're at the crossroads, ladies and gentlemen, on a global scale. And we have already been shown the trickery that they do through media. We've already seen that they can CGI things and you don't know the difference. And then they tell us everything that we've been told all our lives, especially us older ones, are now obsolete. All the things that we have learned through the thousands of years that we have followed, that's kept us safe, that's triggered our senses to tell us what's something bad is happening right now. Also to tell us don't listen to particular people because the gut don't feel right about it. They're telling our children to go against us. Don't listen to us. Don't you get it, people? Have you just gave up that easy on what has been proven that works? Seriously. We have let the communists take over our universities. Radicals. Yes, radicals. Destroy the minds of our youth. And then these warmongers, these piranhas, these prehistoric fucking beasts send our children out, sacrifice them for their benefits. Yeah. Men used to fight out of honor, and they didn't get paid. Their pay was taken from who they conquered, for good or bad. If it was right or wrong, that's how it worked. But these are very vile monsters that are in control and are working us into the corner and into the cages like we are right now. What greater sinister thing that they could come up with? And I'm not saying there isn't something right now going on with the so-called the V or not. None of us are chemists. None of us can prove on a grand scale what's really, really, really real or not. And these people at this level, and people think, oh, China, the Chinese leaders are in cahoots with our leaders, just like our leaders in cahoots with the Russians, and so on and so on. It's a united club. If they really cared when times were hard, these fucking bastards would be out there dumping their money out. Think about it. If they really cared about humanity and really cared about people, some of these people have attained enough wealth that they damn near almost could save the world from poverty. One single wealthy person, and still live high, high on the top of the mountaintop in their castle. But they don't. They don't come to nobody's rescue. Haven't you noticed that? But they donate to organizations that are owned and operated by their circles. And what does it really do? Have you really seen the starvation go away in some of these countries? And then they guinea pig some of these really poor countries with their drugs and shit because there's no laws to protect those people in those nations. And those people are just as corrupt that run those nations, and they're in cahoots with these people and these corporate criminal behavior hounds that they are. The masses are asses because they follow the wrong people for far too long. We've been murdering each other for far too long for a group of insane psychopaths. When do we wake up from this insanity? I think there was a time, and I think we have amnesia, and I think what happened, this is just my opinion, surmising here for a second. I think we actually all did get along until these manipulators figured out that if they get into positions of leadership of somehow, because we always are going to want somebody to lead us. It's like in the native tribes, most of the chiefs, they never ran to be chief. They didn't even ask to be chief. The people came to them because they were wise, they were honest, they were good people. They didn't have to brag about it. They didn't have to sell you on who they were and their actions and how they conduct themselves in life. The people came to him and said, hey, would you be the leader? We trust you. You're a good, honest person. You have a straight eye. You have a good heart. Yeah. And then only people that are paying to try to become leaders like that they are, and all these cronies that help them get in there, that's all criminal shit, people. It's like lobbying. You allow people to lobby to help get somebody in there. That's ridiculous. So basically somebody's buying, and then you'll say that this is an honest system. That we talk about corruption, but we don't stop it. I mean, it's in our face. It's blatantly in our face. The criminal behavior that's going on. But we're listening to the fast talking, which is tricking us to believe what our gut and our minds are really telling us. And then we just keep on going on it every day, sucking it up, and hoping that things are just going to get better. 56 years, I've been watching that same scenario go on. 56 years, I've been watching, this guy is going to fix it. These people are going to fix it. Fix their pockets, fix their buddies' pockets, and then they'll leave in the wake and leave everything a disaster. And who ends up fucking cleaning up the mess? The people. Now I'm just talking from the heart. And you notice I'm not getting religious or anything. That's between you and the God you believe in. I ain't going to put this fear pouring out. I'm just trying to ask you to think. I'm just asking you to think. Think about the reality around you. Think about the past and how we got here. Here, right now, under these circumstances. And who's been at the helm for far too long, and what groups? Don't be fooled by this man that's a leader right now. No better or no different than the rest. And don't think that he's your savior. He's not. And that's not punking him or disliking him or liking him. This is all neutral talk here. Us to us, not them. Okay, this is me and you, my neighbor, my fellow brother down the street, whatever. Just a casual talk, just for thinking. Team players, we're the team. Remember that. We, the people, are the team. And they are the players. It's like at a fucking casino. Okay? We're not the game, ladies and gentlemen, and they're using us, abusing us, and been attacking us for far too long. Leadership. Doesn't matter if it's in this time or 10,000 years ago. Good, honest leaders are super hard to find, but they're out there. And you might have to actually ask them to be a leader, because good, wholesome, down-to-earth people, they don't want those positions, because they would rather live their lives, be peaceful, mind their own business, not tell people what to do, how to live, what to think. They'll let nature take its course amongst each other. And don't start commenting down there, the natives did this to each other. Of course, we've all done that. Europe and everything. Stop fighting amongst each other. Stop that shit. Because that's been programmed into you. Well, they did this, they did that. Oh, no, and these people did this. Stop doing that. That's then. Are we doing it to each other right now? Not really. Some of us are, but not really. Because deep down inside, all of us know this. I don't care what culture you come from. I don't care what belief you believe in. This is a common factor that's common knowledge. The better that we can actually get along with each other, the better we know our lives will live and humanity will progress. But we have serpents, we have people that are in control that will not allow natural progress to go on. If somebody comes up with great ideas, unless they're super rich and they're in the circle, you're never getting anywhere. You could come up with free energy for everybody, but guess what? If this circle, this clan doesn't get to control it and make the spoil of it, you'll probably end up getting murdered. And that's a reality. And we continue to go down the road thinking that doesn't happen. People call you crazy when you said if you would have said 2 days before 9/11, if you would have said some airplanes were going to fly into these buildings, you would have told that person that they were effing crazy. That would never happen here in America. Then in 2008, the criminals were so bold, they did a financial hostile takeover right in front of our faces, and we did nothing about it. Now they've got the world locked down, and they're robbing us blind, stabbing us in the back, and using something as a weapon. It's actually a weapon if you think about it, if it's real or not. Because if you look at the psychological play that they're playing on us, this fear-mongering, all ends of the table, it's not one-sided again. Don't keep thinking like that. Just think that you're standing in the middle and you keep getting beat up from both sides. They're throwing, each one of them have balls and they keep throwing them at you. Stand on the fence for a while, people. Don't pick a side right now. Be neutral. Think about what's really going on. Search your hearts and your minds. Stop playing this team player shit. I'm dead serious. We are the team, the players. Don't let them manipulate us. Keep us at each other's throats. As a matter of fact, since a lot of us are at home right now, and a lot of us don't even know our neighbors, we should probably try to get to know our neighbors. We might actually come to a bright idea how to solve our problems from these criminals that are at the helm right now. Okay? So a lot of us don't know our neighbors. We don't know who they are and whatnot. I know my neighbors. I don't need to go bang on their doors and say, hey, Jim, how you doing, Mike and Bob and all that. I don't have to do that because I live in a small community. But most of you urbanites that live in the cities and suburbs, you probably don't know half of the people that you see standing at your front door. And you should. I don't care how much culturally different you are, you should know each other. That way, if you both need a helping hand at a time, or even in dire straits like right now, you won't feel so different between each other. So, I've been rambling on for 26 minutes now. 7 o'clock in the morning, Pacific Standard Time. It's very quiet outside. I kind of live near a highway, and it's kind of always shh. But that's okay. But boy, I don't hear shh right now. You know, since the internet and all this came out, a lot of us have gotten on there, and we all have our theories and this and that. But I'm not trying to be theorist or anything. I'm just trying to be realistic, people. Seriously, look. Just look. With no reserve or anything, and just as a neutral mind, to look at what's really going on, look at what they're doing, look at the things that they're commanding and demanding from us, and look at what these bills and these acts have written in them. All of them. From both sides. And remember, these people, they're not your friends. They're not your friends. You see and you talk to your friends every day. People that you don't do that with and congregate with aren't your friends. And I'm not saying they are absolutely your enemy and you should be theirs. No. What I'm saying is don't act like they're your buddies. Don't idolize them. Because they're not your friends, and they really, truly don't care about you. I can fucking guarantee that. Believe that. You can go and lay and dress up like a bum outside of their house, and I guarantee you they won't come out. They'll have the cops come and kick you off the street. They wouldn't come over and go, hey, man, you need some money? You need some help? Can I help you out? That's what kind of people we need in leadership. I don't see those people. They hide from us. They have security. They don't have reaction with us. That's on screen for all to see in the world stage. And they are only in the circle they're in with those people that we see daily on TV. They investigate themselves. They give themselves awards. I mean, they're rubbing it. Don't you get it? Don't you love how they rub it in our faces of how much they've got? Seriously. And then they tell us that we got to give up more. I think all of us around the world, not just Americans, there's a tattoo on our forehead. It says fool. Big fool fucking tattoo on our heads. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, I'm going to shut this down. It's almost 30 minutes. It's going to be a bitch to load up, but that's all right. Talk to you later.